Hi everybody, welcome to Fear Food Fixes, where I show you how to tackle the most frightening foods known to man and how to use them in your kitchen deliciously. So today we're going to start with a vegetable that scares everybody I know for some reason. Beets. These guys, yeah. So to get your beets ready, you're going to want to cut off the tops, but don't throw them away. These are actually very edible and very delicious. You can use them the same way you would kale or Swiss chard, mustard greens, things like that. You cook them down, delicious. We're going to save those for later. Today we're tackling these guys. They have a really sweet, kind of an earthy flavor, which scares a lot of people because it's not something you're used to. To make these usable, we are going to peel them. So I'm going to do that and show you what they look like when they're peeled. Okay, so we have scrubbed and peeled our beets. You can probably tell I didn't actually peel them all that well. There's nothing wrong with the skin on the outside. It's just a little tougher than the inside of the beet. So long as you peel off the weird little hairy roots and things you don't want to eat, you can eat the skin. They're perfectly fine. The peelings, I have chickens, so I feed the peelings to the chickens along with the roots and everything else I take off. You can compost them or whatever you want to do with yours, unless you have chickens, in which case they love them. So here are our beets, and we are going to tackle these very scary vegetables by treating them like a much less scary vegetable, the potato. So I'm going to dice these up just like I would a potato that I was going to make crispy and delicious in the oven, which is what we are going to do with these. We're going to make crispy, delicious little beet potatoes. The reason for that is beets have a lot of natural sugar, and what goes better with sugar than salty? So we're going to make what I call sweet and salty oven fries. To make these out of our beets, you're just going to toss them in olive oil and add a little salt and bake them in the oven until they are tender and crispy on the outside. Very delicious. Okay, so I didn't make you watch me chop beets for 5 minutes, but I assure you they are all chopped in a uniform way. And so now it's time to toss them with that olive oil and the sea salt that we talked about. So I'm going to get out my baking pan. You can use a cookie sheet. Really simple. I'm going to put some olive oil on that. I like olive oil. It's delicious. And I'm going to add my beets right to the pan. I'm not going to use a separate bowl to toss them because that's just extra dishes. And I have 4 kids under the age of 5. If you think I'm going to do extra dishes, you're insane. So we put them all on our tray. One-stop shopping here. We mix them around until they are all covered in the olive oil and they're not going to stick to the pan. All right, let me show you how glossy and beautiful those have gotten. All right, check it out. Beautiful glossy beets. Now we're going to put some salt on those. I'm just going to use ordinary sea salt. Yes, it is the one from Costco. Shake all that on there just a little bit. And then we're going to bake it in the oven at 425 until they are crispy on the outside and soft in the center. So delicious. And if you want to for fun, you can run outside and scare your neighbors. Looks like you killed somebody. So we're back. Our beets finished roasting in the oven and they are crispy and beautiful and they still retain that lovely color. So I just put some salt and pepper on them and you can eat them just as they are. They're really, really good that way. Or if you want them to be spectacular, you can serve them with a little dressing of mustard and mayonnaise like an aioli. You can dip them, or you can serve them with goat cheese. Or you can do what I'm going to do, and I'm going to use them as a salad topping. You can see I'm going to make a grilled salmon salad for dinner with like a Thai peanut sauce on the salmon. And then we'll have our delicious roasted beets, which have become caramelized and much more savory from their time in the oven. Or you can use them as the star of the salad if you make it with goat cheese for your protein, maybe some soft-boiled eggs. Anything these are great for, and they're gorgeous. They add a beautiful color component to your salad. So, not so scary after all. You just had to get rid of that overly sweet, funky taste that they have by roasting them in the oven. The mistake that most people make with a lot of vegetables is boiling them. Boiling vegetables works with some, but for most, you just take out all those water-soluble vitamins and you bring out the worst things in your food, like their stankiest flavors or their mushiest textures. Oven roasting is by far the better choice with things like beets, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, that sort of thing. Some vegetables can be steamed with great success, but boiling, almost always a horrible way to do things. So here we go, delicious, tasty beets. Enjoy.